Hello everybody, I'm Jason Gray and this is book breakdown number 45 of the year 2019, where I come to you breaking down some of the best books for business and leadership and reviewing them, 50 of them this year. Hey, are you a financial advisor or work around the industry or considering being one? Well, if so, then you want to stay tuned to this week's book breakdown. Alright guys, we are looking at Story Selling for Financial Advisors, How Top Producers Sell. And this is by Scott West and Mitch Anthony. Great book, a little bit detailed, so if you're not that serious about learning some better communications with clients on the investment side or financial services side, probably not the book for you. But if you're really serious about taking it to the next level, I think there's a lot of meat in here. And I'm going to go over probably 25 or so highlights of the many that I highlighted. So stay tuned. Let me know below which one stood out to you most. And if you like book breakdowns like this, be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll keep these going. So the book starts off with pointing out the characteristics found in top advisors, and they're really profound but simple. Here are the top three. So if this is all you get and you want to go work on it, you can be done with this video. Number one, the way they sold was illustrative and simple. Okay? Sometimes advisors think that being fancy and going into a ton of detail is the way to go and to impress people. It's not. You lose them, you overwhelm them, you make them have a lot of thinking, okay, to do. So illustrations and keep it simple. Number two, they excelled in relating and communicating with others. Look, it's not about you, it's about the client, right? And then number three is they develop specialized audiences for their services. Now, I don't know what firm you might be working for. At my firm, last year the largest client was $25 million and the smallest was $25 a month, all going to great top-notch investments. But some firms only want to deal with people of very high net worth. But you can niche down further than that. Do you want to deal with moms, widows, retirees, veterans, I mean a million different things, golfers, country club, people with kids, people without kids. You can really niche down to what you're great at and what you enjoy most, and profit-wise, what's returning the most return on your investment, and then spend more time with those people. Okay, here's a paragraph here. Most people are fairly balanced in their right brain and left brain orientation. Okay, many people who naturally excel in sales, however, lean toward the right brain dominance, from whence these necessary sales skills are rooted. The prototype sales achiever is an imaginative and motivated risk taker, a colorful communicator, an incisive questioner, an insightful listener, and a likable personality. So you should check yourself where you're at in that. And if you're building an agency or a team like I am nationwide, you want to really have these standards and teach to these standards as well. Chances are this person also likes to have a lot of things going on, like a multitasker. They're passionate and persuasive. They abhor details and needless paperwork, can't stand being on the short leash, micromanaged, and needs freedom to improvise and try out creative strategies. These individuals detest being boxed in and love to respond spontaneously to situations and solve problems intuitively. The more an individual leans to this right brain orientation, the more necessary it becomes to be surrounded by administrative assistants to attend to detail, manage multiple activities, organize ambitious schedules, and generally keep aware of the linear world in which individuals live. So does that describe you? If not, where's your weak areas? How can you work on that? And then if you're building a team, maybe use some of those points as a checklist and ask questions around those for your team of advisors, okay? Emotional affirmation. No question is as important as. So no question is as important as this. Asking the client, how do you feel about this? Okay? The choices we make are based on 80% emotion and 20% logic or rationale. And that's, that's an important point to keep in mind, because the typical industry is showing hypotheticals, They're showing charts and graphs and talking about confusing things and acronyms. And one, that loses people. Two, that's only 20% of their decision making, right? People don't care what you know until they know why you do it, right? And you want to go with the why and the emotion first and mostly, and then the rationale at the end. And guess what? People will get emotionally charged and make decisions on that, and then they'll back up those emotional decisions based off the information later on, okay? The broker's first interest should not be the value of the portfolio, but the values that created the portfolio. So what does that mean? That means that, look, you know, Farmer John comes in and he and his wife have $1 million. Well, how did they get that $1 million? What blood, sweat, and tears did they put into that? Was that their grandparents' legacy as well? Did they take a lot of risk or no risk? Okay, you have to know their habits and their patterns and what's put into that, and respect that and take that into account before you'd ever think about a strategy for them, or else it's going to be a big miss and they're going to feel like you're just after their money and not who they are and their goals. Okay? 1/3, this is a stat, 1/3 of all retirees re-enter the job market within 2 years. Now, those aren't the affluent and really wealthy clients. So that's why we got to get to our clients as fast as possible to get them building wealth, so this doesn't even become an option or a have to for them. But look, people are retiring, they don't have much money, they spend too much, and then they go back to work. So if you don't mind going back to work in your late 60s, early 70s, then that's okay. But if you want to stay retired, okay, and live a great retirement, you got to have the right strategy, the right investment vehicles, and the right knowledge and the right advisor helping you through all these changes, okay? All right, guys, this is only about 1/3 of the stuff. Hang in there. This is good stuff. Okay, remember these two traits, humor and humility, okay? Those are the basic competencies for a successful story seller. When we ask clients about personal traits they most dislike in an individual advisor, they were over-intensity and arrogance, okay? So never talk above people. Don't be over-intense. You know, my natural personality is talking fast and have a lot of energy. And if my client is like that, it's fine. But most people are not. So I'm going to slow down, talk like them, meet them where they're at, and not be over intense. And so make sure you're aware of that as well. By the way, guys, there's a couple of examples of stories and illustrations at the back of this book, so you can skip. I'll put a number in the comments below of how to skip ahead to that. But I'm only going to go through a couple, and there's probably 20. So if you want to read them or see them, get the book. Okay, so remember this: emotions are contagious, and you've seen this. When people are arguing with you, you want to argue back. Now, I'm not talking clients, maybe like a spouse or friends or family, right? But if people are down in the dumps, it puts you down in the dumps. When people are smiling and just loving life and very nice, you feel better, right? So you have to, you know, Tony Robbins talks about having the right state, and you can control your state. Look, you can go over here and do this for a couple minutes and be thinking about the best things in your life. Maybe it's your daughter being born, your son being born, your wedding day, meeting the love of your life. Maybe it's your biggest bonus check. Maybe it's your best client. Maybe it's getting your degree, whatever it is. Think about those moments and get all that energy, like really feel it, and then say, okay, this is the energy I'm going to bring. Okay, and that will help. That will help. Okay, clients come because they want hope, freedom, status, independence, security, peace of mind, stability, and simplicity in financial affairs. That's the value that you bring as an advisor. It's not getting 12%, 10%, 15%. Now, those might be the rational and technical ways you're going to get to what they want, but you got to think about and talk in terms of this is what they want, I'm going to help you get that, okay? Remember, clients have fear, uncertainty, and doubt. You can help them with that. Investors are motivated by two things. It is something to be gained, or greed or just growth, and something to be lost. But the biggest indicator is, or the biggest motivator is fear. It's like a 3-to-1 factor, fear of loss. So people have trouble, they have no trouble visualizing the past and know for a fact that they don't want to go backwards. Many fear not getting enough, others fear not keeping what they've gathered. So address fear. That's going to be a big value add of yourself that you can bring. Okay. The investment will make a check payable every month for $284. So think about this. Two things you can say to a client. Hey, this investment's going to yield 6%. A lot of people don't even know what you mean by yield, okay? Or even if 6% is big or small, maybe they think it's big when it's actually small, or vice versa, okay? But instead, if you say, hey, you know, this investment we're going to put you in, this will give you a check payable to you every month for $284. Now, they know exactly what that is, very tangible, and they can decide if that's worth it or not for them, okay? So how can you simplify further? How can you make them understand? How can you show them the actual benefit, not just the features, right? Okay, I want to read you a couple paragraph little story here. This is a very successful advisor uses this. It's called the confidence meter. So maybe write that down. Confidence meter. And if you like this, you can use it with your clients, okay? But she's a retirement specialist, and this is what she says. She'll ask the client, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, this is what I call the retirement confidence meter. With 0 being the least and 10 being the most, how confident are you right now that you'll be able to retire when you want with as much as you'll need? And then she gives them the pen to put a dash on the meter. So it goes from 0, there's a 5 in the middle, and there's a 10 at the end. Maybe you can see that down here, maybe not. Okay. So then the clients will often indicate a relatively low number toward the end of the session. Sandra will pull out the original confidence meter. I want you to go back to our confidence meter with the same question. Based on the ideas we've discussed, how confident are you feeling, remember that's that feel word, how confident are you feeling that you'll be able to retire when you want to with as much as you'll need? Some will mark a slight improvement, others will mark major improvement. Any improvement is progress. The clients now have a visual, subjective expression in front of them that will help them actually feel the progress they're making. She tells her clients that her goal is to get them to a 10 and that they can live without the stress of wondering if and when they'll be able to make it to retirement. She assures her clients that although it may take some time to get there, she will work with them until they arrive and afterward to stay on track. The storyteller works to trigger appropriate emotions necessary for making decisions. The confidence meter reminds the client why they came to the retirement specialist in the first place. Hey, let me know below. Do you guys like that confidence meter story and example or not? And let me know, will you use it, or are you already using something like that? Okay. Here's another little story or just analogy you can bring up. Hey, at 20 years old, we're driving a beater car, praying that it would start and make it from point A to point B. Around 40, we're driving minivans with gummy worms stuck to the upholstery. And at 65, our primary mode of transportation could be a golf cart. Now, why would someone think about that in their mind or talk about that with people? Because that's helping you understand your market. Who are you talking to? Is it your clients' young kids that just got out of high school? Is it the middle-aged family? Or is it the retired or about to retire adult? Their goals, needs, thoughts, worries, concerns are completely different, and you need to address those appropriately. If you're not sure what those are, just ask some of your past clients about what they like, what they worry about, what they dream about, what their day-to-day is like, and their friends' day-to-day. And take note of a segment of those people, and it'll give you a good idea about that. Okay? Think about this. Here's a little saying here. If you focus on the services that simplify their life. Did you know that we have a way to put your income on cruise control? That's the analogy, cruise control. We put X amount of dollars in XYZ annuity, and you're guaranteed a constant income stream for X years. You literally put your income on cruise control and have no concerns whatsoever about market fluctuation. Now look, I'm not saying annuity is right for everybody, and I'm not recommending a specific one, but for those of you that know and market annuities, cruise control is a good thought there to keep it simple for people, so they say, oh, I get that, or that'd be good. Okay. Hey, what are you doing on your marketing side of things? Hey, put in the comments below, here's a few marketing things that I'm doing, or a few appreciation things that I'm doing. Okay, one advisor, when her clients buys mutual funds, she'll send them a freshly baked pie, and she'll attach a note saying, a mutual fund is a lot like a pie. No matter how big the slice you take, you will get the same ingredients. P.S. If you have any friends who need financial advice, feel free to give them my number. When asked why she sends this, Karen says, because nobody eats pie alone. They're going to share it with someone, and I'm trusting that my name will come up in the conversation. Hey, unique. So thank you. It's a way to potentially get some more referrals and to remind them about mutual fund investing. Okay. How do you combine a big heart with marketing magic and help your business soar? Brent, a smart and big-hearted advisor, decided to organize a Valentine's Day luncheon for his widowed clients. He figured that this was one day when widows are especially lonely and could use some friendly company. Brent puts on a first-class luncheon, gives flowers to each client, and invites all of them to bring a friend. Another advisor and author, Jerry, also focuses on widows. Jerry invites his widowed clients out for lunch for their birthday and invites them to bring 5 friends. He gets lots of clients that way and makes his current customer feel special. So how can you make your clients feel special and appreciated? How can you stay top of mind? What are some things that you're doing? And do you like that idea that they just did? I like it. And if you're in my business, a lot of our wholesalers have a budget to help you do things just like that to help service your book of business and grow it. Okay, here's a couple ideas here, and a lot of them are quotes from Warren Buffett. Okay, the first one, just a little thing that he said, the arithmetic makes it plain that inflation is far more devastating than tax than anything that has enacted by our legislature. So people are thinking about how strong inflation is, and if you're not getting above it, your dollars are going backwards. Eventually they're becoming worthless. Okay, so gotta keep aware of that. Here's another Warren Buffett thing. How much more fruitful is it for us to think about whether the product is likely to sustain itself and its economics than to try to be questioning whether to jump in or jump out? So he refers to timing the market's almost impossible. Jumping in and jumping out, especially for the layperson, is not a good strategy. Most of the time they're losing on that. And he's talking about, look, his investment strategy is looking for value businesses, and he's thinking about, is this a strong product and service? Has it been around, and does it look like it's going to be around for a long time, if not forever? If so, and they seem to have reasonable management, he's buying those companies and holding them. And he's holding them for the long term. Okay. And then the last little Warren Buffett here is, you can't buy what is popular and do well. And you see that all the time with different indexes, with different companies. If you're buying what's the most popular, usually it's overpriced. When the market starts to shift, it's going to have challenges with people getting out and liquidating and being, having much value. Okay, and some of the most popular indices like the S&P is getting so much money pumped into it lately because of books and fanfare, and it's done well. But a lot of people are predicting that that's going to be a huge challenge where not much growth, and there might be some big dips in the near future there. So don't panic, you'll be diversified, but there probably is better investment options out there. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed some of these tips from the book. Again, there were probably 100 more I could have shared, so get the book if you like that stuff. I hope that you sit down and really apply this to your business. And if you're a client or someone that's just looking for financial services or advice, feel free to reach out to me. Love to connect with you on a one-on-one phone call, Zoom meeting, or face-to-face, and just help you address what questions, concerns you have. And if you're an advisor looking for a broker-dealer to get connected with, or if you're looking to get into this world, feel free to reach out. If you're anywhere in the United States, I can help you out with getting some licenses and learning how to do this stuff, and really how to help your clients and understand them, not sell them, right? All right, guys, that's it. Until the next one, join me in the pursuit of greatness.